Okay, Mommy's gonna make scrambled eggs for lunch.
Right, thank you, Mommy.
You're welcome. Okay, I have what I need here for the update. We're looking at close to 100 skeins of yarn, including any lucky strikes that might be going into the shop. So that's a pretty good size update. 3 colorways, 2 solids, 1 regular colorway, a new one actually that I'm trying out in the shop. So I'm excited about that. I'm gonna go get this stuff hooked up and ready to hang it out here so it's prepped for soaking and then dyeing throughout the week. Let's go do that now. So I have some yarn scanning that I need to do before I get into my dyeing today. Today I'm dyeing solids for the shop update. I'm putting in 2 solid colorways to go with a variegated speckled colorway that I'm gonna have in the shop this Saturday. So today I'm just gonna do the solids and skein up this yarn that I have for sweater quantity orders. And then I have some photos that I need to take, and at that point I think I will be kind of done for today. I'm trying to figure out ways to, like, I don't want to go so hard work just because my husband is home and I'm afforded a little bit more time to do that, because that's taxing on him too. And also right now it's important that we find the time to be together without any kind of like stress of needing to get work done, you know, with the kids and everything, because they can sense that kind of stress, and it's even more so when everybody's kind of like cooped up together. And I don't want to use the term cooped up, because this is something that, if we look at it positively, could be a positive thing for your family, and it could also be, you know, very straining. There's a lot of potential for that, but regardless, I'm just trying not to go too hard just because I'm afforded more time to do that. And I think it's important to keep that in mind. It's easy to slip into this, like, oh, I have more time, I'm gonna just get as much work done as I can, but I have to be careful not to overdo it, especially, you know, just at all, especially just in general, you know, you don't want to overdo anything. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm pacing myself out, and I feel like I've done a pretty good job of doing that so far. I'm prepared for my update on Saturday. Getting sweater quantity orders out is really important. I still have a delayed shipment of yarn, and I'm not sure exactly what's going on with that. I received a notification from FedEx regarding a customs clearance, and I had to provide them with some information, so I'm hoping that it gets here soon, because I am going to need that for not this update, but the following update, plus some sweater quantity orders that need to get done and get out. So kind of waiting around to hear about that. I haven't heard anything as of yet. So yeah, that's kind of a stressful concern. But anyway, so right now I am just going to get these yarns skeined up and ready to be packaged. Okay, so one of the things I'm working on right now and for the shop update for Saturday is developing a solid color of purple that matches, and I'll pop the one that I'm comparing it to up on the screen that matches this color. It's almost like it kind of has like that look of like a geode on the inside. It's shown here on something with a 30% silk content, so there's much more of a luster to it, but I really love the like gray undertone of that purple. So that's what I'm trying to recreate right now to put in the shop this Saturday and to add to the Signature Solids collection. So let's see if I can do that. Now we're looking for something that's kind of got like a smoky purple to it. Not like a full-on purple, not a full-on, you know, smoke, but smoky purple. And right now what I'm seeing here is mostly gray. So I'm gonna need to work on that a little bit. But it's okay, it's always better to start with less of everything and then you can add more. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little bit more of the purple to this. The blend I used to get the purple, I think if I add some more of that, that might bring it to where I need it to be. So it's more of a smoky purple and not, you know, not too much of a gray. I apologize, I know I'm listening to like Irish, like traditional Irish music right now, and that's just another one of those favorites of mine when I'm out here working. So I apologize if you can hear that behind me. Hey, but we'll get through. Okay, so I think that might be good. I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna add the yarn to this pan. I've already done it over here. It's too early to know for sure because there's no heat in here right now. And when there's no heat, what's gonna happen is that in the cold water, certain dye will adhere to the yarn faster than others, so you won't see it come together in the true color until you start adding the heat. So I'm gonna get the heat going now, get some yarn in this pan, and then we'll see where we are. Okay, so actually upon adding this yarn to the pan, I'm definitely getting the vibes that I'm looking for color-wise. Let's look and see. So again, it's so hard. Like initially when I add the yarn to the water, you can see it's gonna get where it needs to go, but when you pull the yarn out, because so little dye has adhered to the yarn, it's really hard to tell. So you know what, I'm just gonna not worry about it right now in terms of showing you guys, and I'm gonna go ahead and let this cook for just a little while. Okay, Mommy's gonna make scrambled eggs for lunch.
Right, thank you, Mommy.
You're welcome. What do you say, Ronan?
Thank you.
Good boy. Good morning. I am in my kitchen right now. I just got out here. It's only like 7 o'clock right now, and I'm checking on my sourdough starter. So when you saw me make a sourdough starter at the end of that last vlog, it was really quick. It wasn't a very in-detailed process or anything, but that was not yesterday, that was the day before. I made my sourdough starter with a 1-to-1 ratio of all-purpose and whole wheat flour and water. And it just it wasn't very active yesterday, so typically you feed it every day, and sometimes you feed it twice a day, kind of depending on how active it is. But yesterday it hadn't really gotten to the point where I typically like to feed it, and today it is definitely at that point. And I'm not sure why that is. Who knows? But it is where it needs to be today, and I'm gonna go ahead and feed it. and I'm gonna give it a smell because that's a really good indicator of where it's at. Of course, you can look at it and tell that it's very active, but I'm gonna smell it, and then I'm gonna feed it, and then I'll set it back out, and we'll see how long it takes for it to get to this point this time. Okay, so when you make sourdough starter and you feed it, typically you discard whatever it is that you pulled out from your starter. So you're gonna take half of it out and discard it. And I mean, unless you wanna start having like jars and jars and jars of sourdough starter, you really have to do that. But I think what I'm gonna do with this one is I'm going to do the same thing that I did to the other half and give this one to my mom, because then that way she can have one and I can have one, and then from here on out I'll discard whatever you know, I pull out of my jar to feed the sourdough starter, so I don't accumulate just, you know, tens of sourdough starters all around my kitchen. Okay, so I just finished all of the dye baths for the leather colorway. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a good stir before I add the yarn. They are not on heat right now. I want to add the yarn to the water cold so it really has enough time to absorb all of that dye evenly as possible. So yeah, I'm gonna stir it one more time, and then we're gonna get the yarn and add it in. And then I just let it sit and come back out here and check it, you know, I don't know, I check it about every 5 to 10 minutes. Until it gets to, you know, a good hot temperature, at which point I check it a little bit more often, and then I turn the heat off once it gets to that optimal temperature.